friends, welcome back to my channel. It is time for us to do yet another trash talk. I have quite a few items to show you, so as always I'll put timestamps down below, but let's go ahead and start with the makeup items that I have used. So interestingly, it's mostly mascaras that I have used up. I am someone who tends to open a lot of mascaras and use them and use them and use them, and so I tend to have these phases, use up a bunch all at once. So the first one that I have is the only full-size one, which is the Tarteist Lash Paint. This stuff is awesome. It's going to be on the 21 Days of Beauty for Ulta for like half off, so I'm probably going to pick up another one of them. I feel like for $11, this is a knockout mascara. Super happy to have gotten it in a BoxyCharm. It was just awesome to be introduced to. Definitely recommend it. Then I have my other favorite, which is the Monsieur Big from Lancome. This was on the 21 Days of Beauty from Ulta, so I did pick it up. It was, I think, $11, and again, I really love it. It just creates long, fluffy lashes, which I am all about, so definitely recommend this one. Then I have the Lancome Hypnose Drama. I used to really be a fan of this mascara wand. It's a little bit of a wonky wand, but I have since found that I really prefer the Monsieur Big and the Tarteist over this, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it anymore. Then I have the Milk Kush Mascara. This was just okay. I felt like it was really hard to get mascara onto the brush itself. Like the circumference of the stopper is just so small that it really pulls all the product off, so I wasn't as big a fan of this particular formula, but perhaps if it was a full-size one, the stopper wasn't as small, I might be able to get more product on here, but I'm not convinced that I want to buy this. Then I have two like kind of random empties. I finished off a perfume. This is the Tocca Florence. This was a like pure lilac scent. So I was finding myself in the winter the past like year and a half pulling it out and being like, oh, maybe I'll work on this one, maybe I'll use this one up, and then smelling it and being like, no, this is a spring or summer perfume. I am seasonal with my perfumes, so glad to have used this up. I was definitely sick of it by the end, but I really appreciated that with this size they still had a sprayer on here, so I would love to get more perfumes of this size that aren't a roller ball but are actually a sprayer. I've also used up this Kiss Brush On Lash Glue. I feel like it's rare that I go through a lash glue because I have so many of them dispersed in my apartment, in my car, in my purse, at school, that I rarely am ever using one long enough, but this has just gotten to the point where it's difficult to get product onto the brush, onto my nail. It's getting a little bit gloopy, which tells me that I've used it a lot, so it's out of here. Now let's move on to SPFs. I have three. The first is my body SPF. It's the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Dry Touch Sunscreen SPF 45. This stuff I love. It feels like you're putting on lotion, which for me, I hate putting on sunscreen despite how pale I am and how necessary it is to my life. I freaking love this stuff. Whenever I wear it, I really don't get sunburnt, and I think it's because of the formulation and how easy it is to apply. I also have a face sunscreen. This is the Julep No Excuses Invisible Sunscreen Gel. I very rarely have a face sunscreen that I can apply with my hands that doesn't break me out. It's not that I necessarily have dirty hands, please don't think that, but it's more because of the fact that typically these are too thick. I tend to find spray, like setting spray SPFs are typically what I use for my face, but this stuff was awesome. In fact, when I was done with this stuff, I was feeling bold, so I pulled out this Coats Healthier Sunscreen for Face. It's natural tinted, it's SPF 40, and I was like, well, I applied this with my hands and it was fine, let me apply this stuff. Oh, no, no, no. I applied this stuff like almost 2 weeks ago, and I am still combating the breakout that came from this. You might be saying to yourself, like, Victoria, you don't really have a breakout, but for me, getting like 4 or 5 pimples is an extreme breakout for my skin. I've been dealing with one down here and one up here. Thanks to ring lighting and concealer, you can't really tell, but this stuff was awful. Would not recommend this stuff. I would definitely toss this into a julep box come the spring and summer months because I really enjoyed this, and it's not that expensive when you put it into a julep box. Now let's go ahead and talk about some wax items. The first that I have is this Super Tarts Amityville Lavender Strawberry Passion and Red Mac Apple. I think these are called Bam Bags. I had gotten this in a D-stash. I really wanted to work through some wax that I had in these bigger type bags. This was a nice scent. I'm not the biggest lover of lavender, so I would not purchase this, but if you like lavender, you would definitely like this scent. Also from Super Tarts, I pulled out Chomper. This is Red Mac Apple and Jaw Jaws, and Jaws is sea salt, fresh air, seagrass, sliced plum, and sweet pear. I haven't purchased a ton of wax in the last like 6 months, but I'm starting to find that a lot of the wax I had gotten in D-stashes, I really need to start melting. I was going through and like trying to find new scents, and maybe you can see like how soft and squishy this plastic is, which to me tells me that the wax is relatively old. And when I pulled this out and smelled it, I was mostly getting a wax scent, so I was like, oh no, maybe it's gone bad, let me try melting it. It did still have a good scent. It did actually last a lot longer than I thought I would, but I really have to get going on working through more of my wax collection because I want to really experience what Super Tarte's wax performs like when it's not near its deathbed. I have this Sugar Bombs cotton candy. This was okay. It didn't last super long. I think I turned this into 3 different chunks, and I just didn't find that it lasted super long in my warmer. I have the Angel Food Cake from Candles by Victoria. These I find are just okay. I didn't really like this scent on cold. I paired it with a vanilla candle that we were burning and it was fine, but I'm not compelled to want to buy any more from this line. I have Rainbow Melts So Lushy, which was So White, Cactus, and Avo Bath. This thing was like a tiny little sample and it lasted so long in our bedroom. I really enjoyed it. I was shocked that something that small could last as long as it did. Rainbow Melts has some of the best performing wax. I feel like my top 3 would have to be, and this is in no particular order, the Bathing Garden, Dessa's Homespun Scents, and then Rainbow Melts. They just have the best performance for me and the greatest length of time that you can get a scent from them for how much wax you're putting in your melter. Then finally for wax, I have my Fortune Cookie Soap Aqua de Vida Wax Tart. This I liked. It had a good wax scent throw, but it didn't last super long. Wax performs a lot better in our bedroom compared to our living room, but unfortunately a lot of the scents that I've purchased I don't really like as bedroom scents. They don't relax me as much, so I'm gonna keep working through these. I definitely feel like their scoopable wax performs a lot better than their wax tarts. Okay, let's move on to decluttering items. I have 2 blushes. These are from Kat Von D. I'd gotten them a while back, if you guys remember, from 100 years ago at a TJ Maxx Marshalls. These shades just don't really work for me in what I typically wear for makeup. So as much as it sucks that I bought them and spent money on them, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of them because blush is not something that I can force myself to use. Even when I'm loving a blush, I can't really work through it, so these have gotta go. I also have some press-on nails that I'm decluttering. These are the Dashing Diva Magic Press. I really thought I would love these, but I applied a couple of them on my nails one night and I just hated the look of them. That's never really happened. Like there are sometimes I'll put nails on and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really like those. I feel like they look like relatively noticeably fake, but I just like wear them anyways. These ones, I was like, I don't want to force myself to wear these. I don't really like them, so I'm gonna go ahead and pitch them. Then I have this Ulta Beauty Eye Color Stick in Champagne. I was actually looking forward to using this, but this is like dry as a bone to the point that it fell out of here. I could not get color off of this, and so I'm definitely not applying that to my eyelids, so it's out of here. And then I have a couple of brushes that I just don't feel like perform that well compared to other eye brushes that I have. The first is this Luxie 213 Travel Brush. I just don't really think this applies color that effectively on my lid. And then I have this super cheapy Wet n Wild crease blending brush. Again, I just don't think it blends out color on my eyes as well as some other crease brushes do. All right, now we're on to like the largest category that I have in here, which is bathroom stuff. So we're talking like shower, skincare, anything that I would typically find in my bathroom, I have put in here. I also have my Summer's Eve Ultra Freshening Spray 5-in-1. This stuff, phenomenal. This scent is my favorite out of all the ones that they have. I will always repurchase this. I have a body wash. This is the Olay Fresh Outlast Soothing Orchid and Black Currant. I love the scent of Olay body washes. They have just some intoxicating scents, but I find that I don't really like the formulation of their body wash. To me, it is very thin, almost like a watery formula. And so when you go to put some in your hand and then like apply it to your body, it just doesn't really lather up. I think this stuff is really designed for loofah users, which I'm not a loofah user. It just weirds me out to be rubbing like plastic or a sponge across my body. I just like to use my hands. So I do have, I think, like 3 or 4 more of these scents from this line, but I'm definitely going to be going through them slowly because I just don't love the the formula. I've also got the Swap Professional's Natural Infusion Salon Proven Moisturizing Conditioner. This stuff is fine. I had gotten it couponing. I was using it. I worked through it. The scent was fine. I didn't necessarily experience anything super dramatic with this stuff. I mean, it cleaned my hair. It didn't dry it out. That's fine with me. I also have the Heal Genius from Soap & Glory. This is a foot cream. I went through this really fast. I'm sure it's because it was just a small size. I didn't find it to be as moisturizing as I wanted it to be, but I did appreciate how thin of a texture it was, so it was able to be sucked up by my feet really quickly. I have the Fortune Cookie Soap, the Droids You're Looking For OCD Hand Sanitizer. Loved this scent. This was by far my favorite scent from that collection that they came out with. Unfortunately, they don't have it anymore, which is a bummer. I will at least say that despite the glitteriness of this product that you might see here, it did not leave glitter on my hand. So I hope that they keep going with this type of formulation for glitter instead of using like craft glitter in their OCD hand sanitizers. I have from the Body Shop, it's the Panita Colada Exfoliating Cream Body Scrub. I loved this scent when it first came out, but I didn't find myself really enjoying it in this last container. I don't believe I have any more of this in my collection, but I'm happy to use it up. I think I only have one or maybe two more Body Shop scrubs, and then I'm done with that. But I'm taking a break from them to move on to Bath & Body Works scrubs because I have so many of those in my collection. I also have the Vasanti Brighten Up Enzymatic Face Rejuvenator. This is an exfoliating cleanser. I was using this in the shower probably like once or twice a week. This stuff is nice, but as you guys probably know from my hoarding collection closet, that I have a ton of exfoliators to use up. This definitely is one that I'd recommend though if you are in the market for one. I have the No. 7 Beautiful Skin Refreshing Toner for Normal to Dry Skin. This was fine. I'm not a big proponent of using toner. I have just not seen enough positive effects on my skin to warrant needing this. I have this tinfoil here. This is from a bar of soap that I got from a Fortune Cookie soap box, like an Easter box, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It was the Willy Wonka Charlie and the Chocolate Factory box. This was literally a bar of soap that looked like a chocolate bar and smelled like chocolate. It took me a really long time to pull this out, and finally I just forced myself to use it. It's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie to you, to use a brown colored soap in the shower. It didn't really create like a brown tint on my skin when I was using it, but it was just kind of an off-putting, like, look at this brown brick I'm gonna like wash myself with in the shower. And the chocolate scent didn't really jive with me, so I'm glad that's out of my collection. Not something I'd ever want to repurchase or explore again. I have the Hawaiian Tropic Silk Hydration After Sun Lotion. I really like this stuff. However, the packaging on this blows. It's super hard to squeeze product out of, especially when it would turned upside down and it was like down in heat. Really difficult to get a lot of lotion out, but I loved how thin it was. It was thin, but it was effective. Like, it really cools your skin down and then absorbs really quickly, so you feel that instant hydration. I didn't really get many sunburns this summer, which thank goodness, but I do notice that when I go out in the sun for like at least an hour, my arms especially feel really dried out from that, and this was definitely a rejuvenation, a kiss of moisture back into those drier places. My Biore Free Your Pores Blemish Fighting Ice Cleanser. This is supposed to clear, breakout, and cool skin. It's got salicylic acid in it. I never tried this before. Ben and I wanted to purchase this and give it a whirl. I loved this. I felt like it really did have a cooling effect on your skin, and it really did help fight acne. I just feel like Biore has some of the best cleansers for acne at a really awesome drugstore price point, so highly recommend this. I have my favorite morning serum, which is from Evology. It's the Intensive Blemish Serum. This stuff I have always found since using it really does help combat breakouts. Unless there is something that I put on my skin that's an acne reaction, this stuff really helps just keep acne skin at bay. I really enjoy this stuff a lot. You can use it as a spot treatment or as an all-over serum, and that's what I use it for. I would say this ½ ounce does last me close to 6 months. Big fan of it. Speaking of acne, I also have my Peace Out Acne 10 Acne Healing Dots I have finally used up. These definitely are pretty effective. I'm not gonna totally wipe out a pimple overnight, but it definitely helps, as gross as this is gonna sound, it helps suck out a lot of the nastiness encased inside a pimple, which then allows your pimple to heal a lot sooner than it would ordinarily on its own. So I'm a fan of these. I did repurchase these during the Sephora customer appreciation, like 15% sale. And lastly, I have 2 face masks. I use the Neutrogena Deep Skin I used the Neutrogena Deep Clean Purifying 100% Hydrogel Mask with seaweed extract. This was really cool. It had 2 pieces. Personally, I love masks that come in 2 pieces because I feel like they lay on my face a lot better. This also was like a gel type mask and it didn't slip around on my face. Once I stuck it on, it was just like stuck right there. It didn't move around, which I liked. It was about 15 to 30 minutes. I did it for about 20 minutes. This was really nice. It definitely helped moisturize my skin without causing it to get oily, so enjoyed it. And then after a day of the sun, I used my moisturizing Tony Moly I'm Real Aloe Mask. This to me is just a really enjoyable mask to use whenever your skin feels dry or you've been out in the sun all day. It just really helps to replenish the moisture that's been sucked out of it. I don't by any means have dry skin, but I find that my skin responds really well to aloe, so huge fan of this. Alright guys, that is it for me and this trash talk. I look forward to talking to you in the next video real soon. Bye.